Guys, this is Jeff. This is Jay. This is the JJ Show.
JJ Show.
As we're going, I'm getting more excited.
Right?
So, you just asked me a question. What was it?
So, what was the turning point to get you to finally say, I'm going to be a coach? I'm going to move forward in this. What happened?
4 businesses that I attempted to start with other individuals out of the limiting belief that I felt like I needed to do more, because I had already started a very successful business with a credit card with my best friend. Like, it went really well, and I left that to pursue what's become Culture Matters.
Okay.
So I didn't know what Culture Matters would become, but I left to pursue it because it was like in me. Well, I ended up trying 4 different businesses that all ended up coming back to what Culture Matters stands for, and none of them worked out because that's not what I was supposed to be doing. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So a month before this accident, which we'll talk about, I finally was like, all right, everything is coming back to Culture Matters. I have spent the last 2 years trying to figure out how to coach, and this is what we do, CEOs, or ask them the questions necessary to figure out what their values are, to create training programs around those values to increase productivity and profitability. I figured out how to do it. I got the formula, right? Simon Sinek says start with why, Culture Matters is the how. So I figured it out. Why am I not just doing it? And in August 2017, I was said, after a million people are like, how do I be, are you a coach? How do I be one? Can you coach me? I'm like, why don't I just do it? So I made the decision. Now, 1 month later, I got in an extremely severe ATV accident and almost lose my arm. And, I have at this point, it's going to be another year before I'm able to, do like crazy stuff.
Okay, like full control.
I'm like Gollum. And it was the most productive, mind-altering, positive experience that I could have ever had.
Okay.
No, I mean, you could shoot me and be like, you can't, what you're doing is stupid. And I'd be like, then kill me.
So
how do you like them apples?
So you feel like that accident, did it make you think? Or did it make you wonder, like, okay, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Was that like where you went fully engaged?
Well, so I was already, so interesting. About 3 weeks, a month before the accident, I was like, this is it. It's Culture Matters.
So you were committed before
I
that?
had just started to take on clients.
Okay.
Then I got in an accident, and where I'm like, at this point, most would say, oh, people would give up. Like, this is tough. At the moment where it comes down to like, is this guy for real or is he full of it? Meaning, it's easy to be motivational when you're not almost losing a limb. However, the video to prove it, I got the video of driving to the hospital, my arm bent sideways, and saying like, Culture Matters, it's all good, and like, dude, I was freaking out, all right? I was meditating, it was a lot of pain. It was, what happened, my elbow was dislocated off the elbow, everything was shattered in my humerus and my wrist, so it hurt, obviously, right? It was twisted up, no drugs, drove 40 minutes to the hospital. So at that point, people were like, he's not full of shit. And after that, I got depressed. For about a week and a half, I was like, after the hospital, the 3-hour surgery turned to 8 hours. Medevacs to different hospitals. They almost didn't fix it. Like, I was like, how am I going to build my company? Right? Okay. I had invested everything into it. And not taking, and had this limiting belief into all those other companies, and had this limiting belief against taking clients on. I was like, how am I going to do this? Now I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, what did I do for 2 years? The amount of self-power, personal power that came from this paradigm shift of, it's not what Jay has, it's what he has been thinking he has needed.
Well, say that again.
Yeah.
I think they need to hear that
Holy,
one more time.
I need to hear that one more time. It is not what you have, it is what you think you need that will stop you from stepping into who you're meant to be. Because who you're meant to be is going to solve someone else's problem.
I mean, that's value.
It's value.
Sure, and it's value. You can't build something, you can't build a business, you can't do anything if it's not needed. You can't come out with a widget that doesn't help anybody and think, I'm going to be successful doing this. You identified something. People identified it in you, and you accepted it, and then move forward as a coach. Years of saying, not what I want to do, not what I want to do.
Yeah. Because I thought that I was supposed to live up to a different standard or do something else, or most of us were conditioned in society to think, I have to have this, to do this, to be this.
Correct. Always a reason or an excuse.
I have to have a $10 million company before I can share my story. Well, how about this? Where did the country start? People showed up with no resources, but resourcefulness.
Correct.
So they thought they did, and now we have. So all manifestations of material wealth, of matter, of physical, of seeingness, came from non-physical beingness. Meaning we thought it before we did it. And thinking leads to doing, and doing gets results. What you reap is what you sow. So my point is, I had that limiting belief, like maybe I have to do this or I have to do that. We don't have to do anything. Who are you? Who are you? And that's your beingness. The decisions that you make between what happens and your response. So that shift, when I got hurt, gave me 10,000 times the energy that I would have needed, that I had before. And I added a chapter to my upcoming book, Poor Mom, Rich Uncle, and that chapter is chapter 9, and it's called Love.
Okay.
So, synopsis on the book, my personal life story in every chapter is a value that I indoctrinated in myself and my self-character, my self-culture, through personal experiences that have happened from 0 to the age that I am now. So chapter 1 was anger and resentment. That's where my life that's where my life started. Being angry of being adopted, resenting my mother. That's where my life started. That's where my ambition came from.
Okay.
Discipline, working out, losing the weight, self-identifying with that, with the outer world. Still low frequency. Chapter 2, right? I'm like 12 to... Chapter 3, drive. Now I'm aiming for stuff. Oh, I got to be an entrepreneur like my uncle. Still trying to get, right? Have, do, be. I got to have something to be happy. Mm-hmm. I got to have attention. I got to have money. I got to have wealth. Chapter 4, commitment. I'm going to sacrifice people that care about me for what I want selfishly. I lost relationships, friends, family, girlfriends, people that were great. Chapter 5 was when the onion started unraveling. Chapter 5, coachability, mentors, books, learning. Chapter 6, leadership. Failing forward. Successfully failing is when shit doesn't work out and you think about how you could do better and on you. Okay. Chapter 7, vision. The culture matters epiphany. Finding something bigger than Jay to say, this is my life's way more important when I'm serving others. Chapter 8, focus. Deciding to say no to things that I wanted now for what I wanted most, which is to fulfill the mission.
Okay.
Getting her added a chapter, and chapter 9 was something that I couldn't buy from a book or a coach or what, even myself. Love. Realizing that being in purpose is cooperating with others, learning about others, and contributing to them.